I specifically put you guys across from each other so we would get a little bit more of this. You're angry at him. James says
the family dynamic.
I'm never angry with him.
So what
Annoyed
you're telling me is all the drama that I've been taking in on all these reality TV shows is not real. It's just manufactured.
Yes. Yes.
The Bachelorette is a lie.
That one's a big lie.
We're not manufacturing it.
Yeah, our reality TV is real.
Just be angry at each other naturally.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Shouldn't be a problem. You can pull that off.
Oh.
So today we have a returning guest and a brand new guest for us to talk to.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay. I think people will be excited because our last episode with Karlee, we talked all about business, and a lot of people really liked that one.
Yeah, I wanted to give Karlee an update right away that my only client from Plant Buddy left, and
You went from
from income to no income.
Yeah, one client to no clients.
Your subscriber base evaporated.
Yep.
Just like the water in the plant.
that was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, did Tony take all his plants with him when he went home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's not go into it anymore. I'm really sad about it. Let's just go into introductions. Karlee, do you want to introduce yourself again?
Karlee, did you think about your outfit this time? Because
I did.
Last time she wore a sweater and was...
Everybody came very dressed up last time, and I was definitely the underdressed one in the room.
She looked great still, but yeah.
I forgot to ask. I was going to rock my Rock the Riverfront
Yay!
t-shirt.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But should I just... Well, now that we're into it, just
well, Rock the Riverfront registration is open. You can register at rcu.org/race. And we are kind of going along with business, supporting workforce development partners this year. So if you didn't know, I'm the race chair this year. So yeah.
Start training, Steve.
You can walk it, run, crawl.
Why? You instantly thought I was going to walk it. I mean, you're not wrong, but...
I just know you. You should feel good about that. Okay, Karlee, back to introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Karlee Wallen, Vice President, Business Banking Manager for Royal. I've been here for 16 years and working in the business department that entire time.
And I am Becky Sprague. I am the new Treasury Management Officer here at Royal. Been here a whole month.
Oh gosh, I forgot she's like new, and she had to experience this like right off the bat.
I think Becky walked in the door and I had a microphone right there being like, hey, welcome to Royal. You want to do a podcast?
There you go.
Let me get a couple quick sound bites. Becky, as in your position, kind of tell me what you do day to day.
The goal is to work with businesses in an already developed business lending and business services here. Just continue to support the members. They've asked for treasury management, just finding the right products and services and solutions to help support their day to day.
So what kind of like product solutions, that kind of fun stuff, but like what are they when we talk about treasury management?
So your payroll, ACH, wires, sending wires, bill pay, credit cards.
I think the interesting thing is we've always had treasury management at Royal, but we've never really shown a light on it or been able to kind of put the horsepower behind that side of the business. And now with Becky here, we're able to do that. So we're really excited to let all of our existing business members know that we're here to help guide them in that way, but then also be able to put that out in our market and attract more business members too, because I think we talked about this last time, but credit unions aren't always known for being strong business or commercial lenders or strong in treasury management. And we're a powerhouse now in both, and it's pretty awesome, but we need to start talking about it a little bit more.
When I came on board to Royal, ACH, maybe I didn't have a financial background, but that was kind of new to me. Is that something that you find that a lot of business owners don't know much about, or how would you explain ACH services?
So most businesses know about it because they have to send payroll. Typically, I would say if you need to pay your employees, and depending on how many employees you have, ACH is a good service. So they can automatically send them out through our online banking.
Some businesses use it for like memberships too. Is that true?
Memberships, HOAs, any kind of dues, anything really that you need to credit other people's accounts.
Was that a good question? Or?
I don't know. That was super specific. Like we're in the weeds now. What are you gonna now? What's your plan?
Should we tell people what ACH is? I know we always use the acronyms. Acronyms, my gosh. That was very Wisconsin-esque.
Automatic clearinghouse.
I was going to say, I think people might know the acronym of that one more so than they would the, yeah.
Yes.
We jumped in without even talking about a donut. Did you guys pick a donut for this
Becky was
episode?
hoping you were going to forget to ask that question.
I really, really was. I wasn't joking about the not eating donuts thing.
How? Have you ever eaten a donut?
But
So you know how good they are. I mean,
dude, that's the problem.
it's a lot of self-restraint. I'm impressed.
I really try. But so a twist donut, which is a yeast donut that you fry, usually with cinnamon and sugar or glaze on. But businesses is a long road and twisty and turny and bumps. So, and we can make it sweet and savory at the end.
I like it. I mean, okay, the real question is, though, if you were to eat a donut, would you eat an apple fritter?
Oh, no. Why did you lead her? Just be like, what donut would you eat
I'm
if you
really
had...
curious on this apple fritter thing because I would.
Yes. Steve's a meanie and doesn't like apple fritters.
Why
and
don't you
they're
like
my
apple fritters?
favorite. He does like them. It's a
No.
lie.
No.
He does it to make me angry.
Is it because you don't like fruit baked into things? Because I'm on that train.
Yes.
Yeah.
See? Did you just see Karlee agree with me?
I don't think that Karlee specifically agreed.
Absolutely said, Steve, you were right. Cooper is absolutely wrong about apple fritters. Stop talking about it on the podcast.
Cooper's
because
not
everybody
wrong.
dislikes it. I don't want people to think that Royal supports apple fritters.
I don't think we should promote that Royal doesn't support apple fritters. What if we had a apple fritter business come in? What would be like, yeah, sorry.
Steve doesn't like those, so we're not entertaining that industry.
I mean, that's a bad business model. Let me just tell you right there.
It is good to diversify. I mean, if it was part of their menu, then okay.
But sometimes like that one thing, what?
Nothing.
I just don't see apple fritters as a niche.
But a really good apple fritter, like Quick Trip has apple fritters, blueberry fritters, French toast fritters. Maybe fritters are
Maybe
their
it's
niche.
more about fritters and not about the apple part. Is that what you're saying? I might be more supportive. It's the baked fruit. That's
Yeah.
So like you'd eat a French toast fritter because there's not fruit in it? Steve?
Yeah. I think I would agree with that. There. Compromise.
So that level of expertise and like acute awareness of someone's needs is exactly what the Royal Credit Union business team would bring to a business member too, right? It doesn't just apply to donuts and fritters here, people, right?
I mean,
Is
it's
that-
less
is that correct?
confrontational when it's with a member
Yeah.
versus
Okay,
with a
okay.
teammate. But yes, it's
More of a
exactly
partnership,
right.
a little more collaborative.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good like
Like you said, Royal's always kind of done everything pretty well. Becky's a new add to the team. Tell us a little bit about Royal's business banking team.
Well, Becky's getting to know us all as a team, so I'm interested to hear her perspective, but maybe I'll set the stage for you. The business banking department at Royal has grown substantially throughout the years. We've been doing business lending for a really long time, and when I came on board over 16 years ago, there were 18 of us in the department, and now we're over 80, I believe. And as part of that, addition to staff is developing areas of expertise. And one of those areas of expertise in the last 5-ish years has been the business banking team specifically. And that's the team that I was able to help develop and build from the ground up, which has been really fun and exciting. And we're here specifically to serve startup businesses, smaller businesses, which are two very different things, and businesses looking to grow. And we define that as a dollar threshold, but really that doesn't matter to listeners. I mean, we're here to help you in whatever capacity you need. And if you're above that threshold, then we hand you off to a commercial lender who can help you continue to grow. And the addition of Treasury Management and Becky is a really great complement to what we're able to do on the lending side, but on a deposit and services perspective. Like we have all those tools. We have an awesome department who can set up the accounts, maintain the accounts, help you troubleshoot with your, whether it be business online banking or your ACH or your mobile capture. So we've got the army kind of back there already servicing all of our members really well, but we didn't have the face and we didn't have the ability to get out and kind of share the news or spread the word that we are here to do that for you as part of your services of being a business member of Royal. So
I think she hit that on the head. But I would add that, presenting the team with an already solid army, like Karlee said, is, adding just one more person that focuses mainly on the services and how we can support the businesses is huge. So we can continue to grow with them. So,
I mean, as a lender, we like to say we know enough about that to be dangerous. We can talk to our members about the fact that we have those products and services, but when it gets to the point of a borrower who doesn't even know what it is they need or what questions to ask, it's really beneficial to have somebody that's in their court, like Becky, to offer the solutions or suggest the solutions that she might see would help them, whether it be build their cash flow up or save on fees or whatever maybe you can speak to that, like some of the things that you're able to help businesses do.
yeah, I think the fees very minimal.
Minimal fees.
And how do you know that that's wonderful? I mean, you have experience from outside these walls, so it'd be interesting to...
I do. I analyze statements typically from other financial institutions and do a proposal to see how we can compare apples to apples. And we're also looking to add tools and products that would support our businesses, whether that be positive pay or sweep accounts. That's coming in the future, but that's one of my main focuses.
So from a perspective of a listener, maybe not a huge business, like when I hear treasury management, I'm thinking like, I don't even have a huge amount of cash. Like, do I need to manage that? Like, is there like, how does that conversation happen with a member in that situation?
Well, every business has payables and receivables, and they have to do payroll. They have a couple in place. Some businesses only have themselves,
or you're like Steve and you're only
or you lose your own.
He's part-time in it.
I wasn't going to throw him under a bus like that. But everybody has to, do your financials.
So is it just like talking with someone like, hey, what opportunities do you think you have? Here's what I usually would approach someone in your, in your state of whatever, like if business of your size would benefit from something like this?
Very much so. And if they have an existing relationship elsewhere, we can analyze those statements and just see. We're not trying to add anything to their bottom line other than a benefit. So,
like, even so, thinking about Steve's Plant Buddy business, it's something that Steve could benefit from, right? Like having you and talking. Okay. So really anyone, that's kind of
So
cool.
if you were going to sit down and meet with Steve, what would you ask him to assess his situation and find those needs?
Yeah. Assess Steve right now. Let's do with some role play.
His business, not Steve as a person.
Oh, yeah. No. Plant Buddy.
Got to put some guardrails up here.
He doesn't smell very well. What?
I guess I just get to know the person and then how did you start your plant business?
It was forced on me.
And you have vendors to pay, and how are you going to stock, I guess, your water supply?
That's a good one, though, because if you need filtered water or, mineral infused or liquid fertilizer.
Where's the pen? I got to start writing this stuff down.
We can build your business plan right now.
Did you say liquid fertilizer?
Yes. When we did our team outing at
Down
like
to earth.
That's like one of the most Wisconsin things ever, isn't it? Like maybe that's not.
Okay, well, I didn't know about it, but we did our out at, I can't think of what the
Was it Down to Earth?
Yes. Yeah. We did a team outing at Down to Earth, and we know I have plants. I'm not a great plant mom. And I asked her why my plants were dying. And she said, you should try liquid fertilizer. And I had no idea. But you mix it with some water and you just pour it in your plants and they look much happier.
Do you find that businesses like to have these conversations, or do they shy away from kind of out of sight, out of mind, and focus on doing what I do and I don't want to talk about this?
I mean, that's the consultative sales part, like getting to know their business. Everybody wants to, talk about how they came to light and where they want to go, and they all have goals. So I feel they talk about it pretty well.
Yeah,
very open.
I would. This may not be accurate, but if you're a business person, you're really passionate about that business, right? That's your bread and butter. That's why you exist. And so maybe you need that outside perspective to look at your money, your finances, and say, here's what I think, you could save some money doing this, or this could totally streamline things for you on payroll day. Like, you don't have to spend the amount of time that you do. Is that accurate? Like, that's what ACH is all about, right? So
sounds like building that relationship with them, though, is like what makes it successful. You don't just have Steve come in and be like, hey, your Plant Buddy business is very unprofitable, or you're paying way too much for this. You have that, like, Steve, tell me about that Plant Buddy business. What are you doing? Which I think is cool. Like, we genuinely care about that business member in front of, I say us, but you guys, you care about that business member.
Well, you do too.
I do too. Yeah.
So if you had to speculate, would that experience be different at Royal than it would somewhere else, maybe?
I would say so. Excellent member service.
Did you say there's 80 people on the business banking?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Holy buckets. Is that common, uncommon? I feel like that's
In the credit union industry, it's very uncommon. We are still this year and have been in the couple previous years the number one commercial business lending credit union in both Wisconsin and Minnesota. And we're in the top 10 in the nation. Wow. Yeah. Yes. It is really impressive. And I don't think we think about that much in our department because we still function like we did when we were a small organization. I mean, members come first, to Becky's point, and we're not here to push product to them just so Royal can make money at the end of the day. We're a cooperative and we're owned by our members and we do right by them. So I think we do have something special to offer. And part of that is the low to no fee that Becky kind of alluded to and is maybe a little bit afraid to talk about because that's not typical in the treasury management industry and where she's come from in her past roles. But at Royal, it's true. So it's fun to do those statement account analysis, I could imagine, because it's usually good news from our perspective.
Is there any other tools like that statement analysis? Like, I know that's one aspect of it, but is there any other tools in your toolbox that you see as a go-to, or is that kind of the main one?
That would be the main one, but I mean, providing that service and just openly talking to businesses and getting out there with the lenders, with the lending team. They already have good offerings, and I mean, interest rates alone, we can finally start talking about them again, and that will help and add benefit to the bottom line.
I mean, how important would you feel if we came to talk to you as your business banker and you had a team of us coming to help you and build you up as a business owner and support you in the area of finances that you're probably least comfortable or least wanting to focus on, to have a team there to support you, I think would be pretty special, especially if you're being an entrepreneur. I think is a pretty lonely gig sometimes. You don't have a team of coworkers or managers around you to help you kind of wade through the challenging pieces of that job. So to know that you have the team and the support at your financial is, I think, pretty awesome.
Does everyone call it treasury management? Some people call it like cash flow something.
Cash management, treasury management, business services. But I think industry-wide, it's going to treasury management.
Sounds so fancy.
Intimidating.
Well,
Exclusive.
So it's good that you bring that up, though, because on the business banking side, my team does a little bit of hybrid work alongside Becky, or we use kind of her as our resource because we are able to speak to our cash management products, which are a little maybe less advanced or less intimidating for our startup or smaller businesses, just based on their needs. And we're able to kind of tout those as cash management versus business or versus treasury management, but they're largely the same. Mm-hmm.
What would be an example?
I could tell you were like, that didn't do it for me.
What Karlee's saying is, as a small business, they're skilled in speaking the members' language, like making them feel comfortable, helping them understand that these are the services we offer.
And we have introductory services that we want to make sure to offer that set our business owners up for success. So like in your instance, we would want to start talking about getting your operating account, your checking account set up with us to start with, because prior to even borrowing you money, we kind of want to see how is he managing his cash flow, how is he handling that account, and maybe set you up with a credit card to do the same thing, maybe our quick cash or overdraft protection to kind of get your feet wet and kind of understand more so what your needs are before we start saying like, oh, we should talk about ACH or some of the other products that Becky's working on developing for our larger members. It doesn't mean that you won't get there at some point, but you have to start somewhere. And Becky is only one person. We're building an army for her eventually here. We're gonna be doing a little bit of addition there at some point. But the business banking team has boots on the ground in most of our branches, and we want to be the catalyst to that conversation with our borrowers and with our members. And then if we need the support, we have Becky here to help us walk through the more complex questions or give more in-depth advice if people need it or want it. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. We can cater to your needs.
Scalability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still maintaining the relationship. Like I can still count, I'm going to talk to Karlee and she can say, hey, Becky's really great and she's got some good things to offer you too. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I probably want to talk to Becky. She seems great.
Straight to the source.
Yeah.
The whole team supporting you.
Yeah. Got the team, got that relationship. It's cool.
This is my tangent towards James. Do you feel like yeah, welcome. Here we go. Do you feel like this is
It's kind of quiet.
getting away from business for a little bit? Do you feel like this is Royal Credit Union's approach in general and a good approach of targeted and kind of expert advice, trusted advisor?
Yeah, I think there's a handoff process that happens for members no matter what their needs are, right? So you can go and talk to someone at a branch. They'll hook you up basically with a mortgage expert or a business expert, or the business person can say like, here, this is a complicated loan. Like, let's talk to someone and make sure we get the numbers right or something like that, right? So I think Royal's super good at making those connections and keeping members informed along the way. So it doesn't feel like you're just getting bounced around like a ping pong ball. It's like, hey, this person is someone that I work with every single day. I'm really, really comfortable with them. And I think you're going to like it too. So
Yeah, the warm handoff.
Yeah.
It's key.
I will say members can count on that both from like not a like member facing position. Like when our team's out, you know, doing education and things like that. If someone says, hey, talk to me about small business loans. Well, I can give you a nice little fact sheet. Not my area of expertise, but let me get you in contact with, you know, so-and-so who's the business lender here. Like, give me your email. I'll loop you in. You can have a good conversation with them. So I think we do it on all aspects, which is really cool. So as I'm thinking about like, okay, when you become a Royal member, you have to have a savings account and then you can get your checking. Is it the same with business? Like, do you have to have a savings account to get a business loan? You don't have to have, okay.
Yeah, a business can become a member just like an individual can.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and if you are really aggressive with your business planning and you decide to shoot off into like a fertilizer business on the side and have multiple businesses, then you would have multiple memberships here at Royal. So for each business, each EIN number, you could become a member. So we do have plenty of business members who branch off into lots of different ventures and have many different savings accounts and checking accounts and all the services. And
How difficult is it to manage those accounts then through Royal?
yeah, Becky, how difficult is that?
I'm getting to know it's not hard. It can all be done on our business online banking. It's pretty user friendly.
Can they do it? Is the app usable?
Right. Some financial institutions do not have as much flexibility on their app for businesses. So in my experience, yeah. So Royals is pretty user friendly, mobile or online.
What's the most surprising thing about our mobile products that you think businesses don't know?
That you can manage it all. Like you can send out a wire, approve a wire.
I think the app is such a, I don't know, when I think of like the small businesses and those individuals that we specialize in, how convenient to just be able to, you know, take my phone, especially when you are the entrepreneur, you're flying solo, like to just be able to manage it from everywhere is really cool because that's when you're boots on the ground, that's what you're doing when you're building a business.
I think coming back to one of those observations that Becky had too about low or no fees, like it's all right there in the mobile app. Like, I'm not sure if this is going to change, but like bill pay, completely free to send a payment to anyone right now, right? Mobile deposit, there's no extra charge for snapping a picture of a check on your phone.
And how awesome is that? Because before you would have had to drive to one of our branches and wait in the teller line or go through the drive-through and deposit all of the, like pick a time during the day or throughout the week to make that stop. And now you can just keep doing your thing and quickly take a picture and the check is deposited.
Things like alerts, you know, you're coming away with like there's no extra charge to get notified when a transaction happens or your balance is low or your balance is high or whatever. So I think that's awesome too.
I do have to set up business alerts pretty quick here.
For Plant Buddy?
Yeah, to let you know it's still at zero. Just kidding. To let you know when the receivables come in, whatever the
Yes.
business term is.
If I drop
When the
treasury,
treasury is packed.
Hey, I will say our real-time alerts for incomes and outcomes, deposits and withdrawals are actually so nice. And I can, like, from a personal aspect, I can imagine that'd be so handy for a business. What do members have to think about, like, with business fraud?
Check fraud, business email compromise, ACH fraud.
I mean, fraud can wipe your business with like one small event. It can really do some collateral damage to your business. So it's happening more and more.
It is.
How do businesses keep their information safe? Like, like we know don't share your account number, stuff like that. Is it the same with businesses, or they're like key things that are different that?
Yeah, I would say, we're adding tools to help protect that, but they can also, again, not share their information, and just making sure you know who you're talking to and sending money to, and verifying that personally versus just through an email or communication.
So like thinking about the consumer side, right? A transaction happens, it shows up at your account, the credit union just pays it, right? Just happens automatically. So on the business side, is there an option for that transaction to come up on your account and then someone gets to review it? Get to take a look at it?
Yes.
And say like, yes, that's good. No, that's not good. Like that would be perfect for like fraudulent situations. Like that's not even my check or something like that, right? Like I don't know if that happens, but.
So we're looking to add positive pay for ACHs and checks. So you would provide the approved information for both of those, and then ideally go in and make the exception before it's presented to your account.
So that was like a sneak preview of what the future holds, right? So
Sounds
more
like
to come
a
on
great
that,
tool.
but it sounds like a
Great tool.
Great tool.
Great tool. Great tool.
I'm just thinking about incomes and outcomes. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah. Wow.
Is there any other tools coming down the line in trends in treasury management that Royal's looking into, or?
Royal's going to add sweep accounts as well. So you can automatically transfer funds overnight to pay your line of credit, invest those extra funds.
Make more money with the money that you have. Isn't that genius?
Yeah. Save that manual time of.
Is that something businesses don't think about a lot? I know, and I'm basing this off of teaching Fuse, which is our entrepreneurship program for middle school. But we talk about like, okay, you want to save some of your money, you might want to invest it, whether it be like actually invested or invested in your community. Are those things that like businesses think about like just automatically, or is that a conversation where we're like, hey, are there special business investors? I don't know.
I think it's both, because the manual process of managing your accounts, you still have to manage your accounts, but the funds are automatically swept to cover those expenses. But sometimes you have to prod and discuss that with them and see what they need if they want that automatic transfer.
I think that happens in a certain stage of business life, don't you? Because we see a lot of folks just wanting to earn enough to have a reserve account. Step one, save for a rainy day fund, have that taken care of. But then you get into your groove, and maybe it's not top of mind for you to be thinking, well, I have some extra cash. What should I be doing with it? Sitting in an operating account probably isn't the best option, when it could be either making more of a return in a different type of an account, or being used, like you said, Cooper, out in the community to give back. And talking to new business owners, creating their business plans, it's one of the first things that they talk about in their projection is like, I'm really excited to be able to give back or to support others who are trying to do this too, because it's something that in our communities is valued. So I do hear about that, but I don't know that they're actually taking the time to find the tools to help them make the most of that money before they're able to invest it in the community or back into their business or into another venture.
Or you could use it for a fraud tool too, I guess. You could add accounts just specific for payroll or merchant or ACH. Add that extra account number. So if only one is exposed versus your full operating account.
That's a great idea.
Royal has all these different business offerings. Is it just specific businesses that can use our services, or what kind of industries do we serve as a credit union?
We focus on commercial real estate, property management, HOA, nonprofits.
And the reason that we focus on that is because it's been our bread and butter for the long haul, and we've become really efficient and really strong in that area.
But we're looking to grow and find those solutions for them, other type of industries to fully support.
And we get to kind of dabble in that already with the business banking team. So from a business banking perspective, we are working with a wider variety of industries. When you think about startups, it's across the board. And we do have certain industries that are considered a little bit more challenging to get our arms around as a financial. So they're harder for us to find that comfort level with. And we have a loan policy in place that we use as our guiding light on what we are able to do as a financial for those folks. And if we're able to obviously we would want to help as many industries as possible, but kind of as an example, it's a little harder for us to lend to, say, a restaurant if we don't lend to many restaurants. We don't know that line of business very well. We don't have the comfort level with what brings cash in and what flows the cash out, and how we can best protect both the borrower and Royal in those relationships. So if we're not well versed in an industry, it's better for both the borrower and for us to refer them to another credit union to help them if we know that they are experienced. One really good example would be ag lending. In order to be a well-oiled machine and do right by our members, we would want to have a team in place here at Royal who understands that industry really well, right? And have a policy built around it to kind of create those guardrails for that type of industry. So we don't currently do ag lending, but if we were ever to do that, we would need to build the infrastructure internally to be able to do that. So,
are there new startups that you feel like your business banking team is getting stronger at?
I would say the more we are confronted with, I think, the borrowing need of any type of industry, we're hungry to dig into it and try and understand it. And when it's on a smaller scale, the risk is less. I mean, it always feels risky as the borrower because you're throwing everything into that dream. But I think it's easier for us to try and get more comfortable with industries across the board at that scale. Maybe it's more so our service industries that we've been able to feel more comfortable with. And we're really excited about that because we're looking to grow that into more of our commercial space with some C&I lending, commercial and industrial lending, for those folks not familiar with that acronym. So we are really excited to be stepping into that field here in the future because we've become more comfortable with them on the smaller scale and have built some parameters around it and understand it a little more.
So that's like if we weren't doing lending for restaurants, but a whole bunch of restaurants started coming to us and being like, hey, we need a loan for this and this. And we'd be like, oh, maybe that's a need, and we explore it.
One of the ways we explore that is, I think you threw out the word trusted advisor earlier, and we want to be that, whether we're able to provide the lending for it or not. Maybe we're able to provide at least the treasury management to start to kind of understand and grow into that trusted advisor for that group. Just because we don't have it today doesn't mean we can't find the tools and resources within our community to help us get there as well. And that looks like maybe us leaning on the SBDC here in our local community. And I know they have that in other communities that we serve as well, or working with like a regional business fund to help us provide some gap financing for our borrower if we're not able to do it all internally here, but really looking for a way to be able to help in any type of capacity if we can.
SBDC, Small Business Development Center.
What I heard, my takeaway from that conversation was just ask, like, reach out, have a conversation. Like, can you help me with this? What's your recommendation? What's your advice in this situation? You know, if I have a need that I've identified, just come talk to someone at Royal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to see you succeed, and we really hope we can help you here at Royal. But if we can't, having the community partners that we do to provide those other resources is a step in the right direction. And if we end up needing to refer them to another financial, I mean, I think we all have those referral sources for a reason, and we lean on each other. And I think that's the cooperative way. So I'm super proud of us for being able to do that.
I find it interesting that, you know, we could open up that checking account and help you pay your employees, even if we might not be able to, you know, give you the loan for, I don't know, whatever reason. But I think that's interesting that we like.
But the goal in that is for you to establish your relationship with us so that hopefully soon we can, because businesses don't have a credit report that's as easily read or obtained or understood as a consumer does. So we lean on track record and how you're able to manage your accounts and services with us internally here to help make some of those decisions. So the longer you've been a member with us, the better as far as being able to make a good decision on our end.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Cooper,
Steve.
if somebody likes Money Donuts, what should they do?
What they should listen to the episodes, which they can find on their favorite podcast streaming platform, rcu.org/podcast, or on our YouTube channel, which also has YouTube Shorts, which are like TikTok for people like Steve.
Nice. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Our Money Donuts YouTube channel?
No.
The answer is no, because I can see and you haven't.
Steve, it's because I
Trick
only
question.
have the Royal Credit Union YouTube account on my phone, and I which is why there's, odd recommendations. And I don't really know what my personal YouTube channel is. I just use the Royal one. I don't know.
Yeah. If you're watching this video, both James and I are shaking our heads, but
I don't know.
thanks for listening.